In Shōgun, vulnerability does not look like crying. It looks like silence and stillness, a gentle bow, like when Lord Toranaga unsheathes his sword in a moment of conflict, choosing its actions deliberately rather than reacting with emotion. This is a world where emotions are not loud. They're sacred, where love isn't declared, it's protected, and where honor doesn't mean appearance, it means alignment with culture, legacy, and purpose. We are not just watching a story, we are being invited into a different emotional code, where restraint is wisdom, and feeling when done with discipline is the highest form of power. In Shōgun, silence speaks louder than anything. Characters communicate through stillness, glances, pauses. This is not emotional suppression, it's emotional literacy in the highest dialect. Take the early scene with Lord Toranaga and John Blackthorne, when they sit in silence, observing each other across the room. There's no need for words. The weight of their gazes says everything. In Western psychology, we often associate emotional health with openness, naming feelings, expressing them, talking through pain. But in Eastern culture, particularly in Japanese tradition, silence is not avoidance, it is intentional space. Psychologists who study intercultural communication describe this as high context culture, where meaning is conveyed through impact, tone, and nonverbal cues, rather than direct speech. In Shōgun, silence is how trust is built, how grief is carried, and how love is shown, not through words, but by simply being present. When Mariko bows to Lord Toranaga before leaving for a dangerous mission, her silence conveys a profound sense of duty and respect that words could never achieve. Honor is internal alignment, not performance. Honor in this story isn't ego, it's identity. For characters like Lord Toranaga or Lady Mariko, honor is a daily practice, reflected in how they speak, how they eat, how they love, and even how they die. One striking example of this is Lord Toranaga's calm acceptance of his fate in the face of political danger, when he chooses to remain silent rather than show any emotion, holding to his values of leadership and honor above all else. Western audiences often read honor as pride or status. But in Shōgun, honor is humility, a kind of sacred accountability. In psychology, this aligns with internal moral identity, where values are not just social roles, but deeply felt truths. And that's what makes restraint so powerful here. Not because feelings don't exist, but because they are held with care. This is most clearly seen in Mariko's sacrifice when she chooses to die for her people. Her actions speak volumes about the emotional depth of her commitment. Emotion through action, not expression. Characters like Lady Mariko and Usami Fuji don't need to speak to move us. Their actions say everything. Mariko's self-sacrifice is not dramatic. It's calm, accepting, precise, and devastating. Her quiet acceptance of her death, preparing herself mentally as she walked to the execution, is the epitome of emotional vulnerability. Not as confession, but as a self-offering. A type of meaning-making through service, which Eastern psychologists describe as self-transcendence. Likewise, Lord Toranaga shows affection by trusting and entrusting others. By accepting John Blackmore into their world, not with sentiment, but with respect. Even the way food is served, tea poured, pain tolerated. These are love languages in Shōgun, languages we have forgotten to hear in the noise of modern self-expression. In this context, actions become the most powerful form of emotional communication, a subtle but clear demonstration of emotional depth that is felt without needing to be voiced. It's the unspoken commitment to a bond or a value that resonate more than any words could. What can the West learn from Shōgun's restraint? We live in a time where expression is constant. We post our thoughts, explain our feelings, perform our identities, but Shōgun offers something else: intention, ritual, sacred quiet. It reminds us that emotions don't need to be visible to be valid, that presence can say so much more than words, that sometimes the strongest form of connection is doing, not saying. And maybe in a world of so much noise, restraint isn't repression, it's clarity. In fact, this clarity can lead us to a deeper emotional understanding, not only of ourselves, but of others. When we stop expecting vulnerability to look a certain way, we begin to perceive the subtler forms of connection that hold relationships together. Think of the final moments between Toranaga and Mariko, where their parting marks a wordless exchange that says more than any spoken promise. And Shōgun doesn't ask us to copy its culture. It asks us to respect it. It asks us to observe it, to stop and think and introspect, to witness a world where honor and silence and emotional discipline are not limitations, but strengths. Because when we stop expecting vulnerability to look a certain way, we start to see it everywhere. In a bow, in a shared cup of tea, in a friend who shows up without needing to explain themselves. Shōgun challenges the way that we view emotion. It challenges the way that we see time. It challenges the way that we express love and ourselves. It did it for me. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.